welcome. I'm Rashida Silvertree. Welcome to my portal, my place, my space. You guys remember MySpace? I'm dating myself. All right, so if you tuned into what we can learn from the high maintenance woman, these are things that we can learn from the au natural woman. I don't want to say low, okay? I don't want to say low maintenance, or maybe that's okay, but I like to say au natural. All right, I'm more towards the au natural woman, a woman who lives closer to the land, if you will. The woman, the hippie, the I'm not wearing a bra and I'm not gonna shave. Okay, that's the extreme, right? What can we learn from her? What can we learn from her? Because another video I mentioned, the high maintenance woman is a reminder. Well, the au natural woman is a reminder as well. She reminds us to be ourselves. She relieves us from that pressure, right? She reminds us to relieve ourselves from that pressure of I have to look put together at all times, no matter what. If I'm sick, if I'm an emotional wreck, for a man, for my job, I have to look put together. And sometimes they say that oftentimes how you dress and how you express yourself is a representation of what's going on in your internal world. That is true, but not all the time. A plain Jane could be a genius. She could be a freak in the sheets. She could be someone that is so creative and so overlooked, right? And then you can have someone that wears tons of makeup and then puts too much emphasis on her looks, and she's void inside. There's a void inside her. There's a hole, like there's nothing there. She's very boring. Not a lot going on inside. She doesn't think very deeply. Or you can have someone who is high maintenance and they're highly intelligent and and they look great and they're able to do all kinds of things. And you can have a plain Jane that she is that plain, not a lot going on in her life, or just in her vibe, in her energy. But the au natural woman reminds us to be of nature. Take off your high heels, rub off your fingernail polish on your toes, and dip your feet in the mud. Dip your feet in the dirt. Dip your feet in the river. Stand in the rain. I'll give you the most beautiful mother-daughter experiences I've ever had in my life with my mother. And it happened twice, which was very interesting. I remember being about 3 years old. I was very young. 3 years old, and we're out in nature somewhere. Deep in the woods, beautiful place. It was super green. The grass was cut, but the grass was green, and there were big tall trees surrounding us, and it was just my mother and I. And she wore this white shirt. I'll never forget this. She wore this white shirt and this long skirt, all right? It's like the 90s hippie, right? And her hair, I believe, was pulled back into the barrette clip that used to be super popular back in the 90s. And I remember she was holding my hand, and she told me to stand right there, don't move, stand right there, okay? It was by a tree. And so I leaned up against the tree, and then she walked off, and all of a sudden there's this huge rainstorm that came. No thunder, just rain, and it rained hard. And she went out in the open of the field and spread out her arms and just started dancing and laughing and playing. I mean, she was soaked. Her hair was soaked. Her clothes were soaked. She was wearing a white shirt, and she had her bra was like everything was soaked, and she was barefoot, but she looked free. And I'm not going to dive into my mother's story because this is my story, and that's her story. And I don't want to give any more inclination on that. But that moment was so touching for me, and it stuck with me for so long. because I will, everyone has their ups and downs in life, and I've witnessed some of my mom's ups and downs, and a lot of what she's had to go through in her life. She's a very strong woman, very strong, with weaknesses, okay? But that moment stuck with me for years, till this day. So then, give it another 10, 11, 12 years. I was a teenager, I think I can remember, late teens. And at this point, she owned a home. And I remember standing in the garage, and I see her. Okay, their cars are there, but I see her, and there's a rainstorm, and she goes out, and she does the same thing. Sorry, there's someone speaking, but I'm going to continue. She goes out, she puts out her arms, and she does the same thing she did. She starts dancing and laughing, and she's letting the rain hit her face, and she's just so free. And that stuck with me, and it stays with me till this day. The importance of being au naturel is to go back to nature. That is the mother. That is the womb of all creation. Women, wake up. Okay? There's a time to celebrate. Put on a little color on your face. But realize the color of surrounding you. Realize the flowers and the sky, even on a rainy day. The gray of the clouds, the power of the rainfall. It's stunning. And I was stunned by that. And those 2 moments I will carry and cherish within my heart space until I leave this planet. Because that is what connects me to my mom, is her freedom, seeing her so free. Because most of the time, women feel trapped. A lot of the patriarchal systems are not built for women. It's built for men. And I just now am realizing that at 34. It's built to support men. Right? The low maintenance woman is simple. There are some cons. You know what I'm saying? She may look a bit lazy. She doesn't give a fluke. She'll attract a lot of dusties, okay? Here's the thing. Au natural women, okay? And this is why it's okay to put a little color on your body, put a little color on your face, look like you care, all right? Look like you love yourself. Put some extra shea butter on your face, right? Okay? Because I'm going to tell you right now, when you don't put in a lot of emphasis on how you look or your appearance, right? And look, it's all about what you vibe with and what vibes with you, okay? So if I believe me, I know I've had hairy armpits. It's not my thing anymore. I did the whole hippy dippy thing, and it worked for a time and didn't work anymore. Because a lot of the time you're going to attract dusties, dust mites, and yeah, just the dust, okay? You're gonna get dusties. That means low maintenance men who are broken and don't know and don't love themselves. You're gonna attract that. Bad hygiene, you're gonna attract that. Even if you have good hygiene, even if you're good and you take care of yourself, you love yourself, my low maintenance woman. My au naturel woman who accepts her body hair, who accepts all of herself, who doesn't wear a bra and all that. Because to them, broken men, they're like, oh, I don't have to try as hard. I don't have to pay for her nails. I don't have to pay for expensive dates. Oh, I can just take her to a park for a date and call it that, And there's nothing wrong with park dates. I love them. Like, I actually really like that. I prefer a hike and a picnic, okay? From time to time. Like I said, I'm in the middle. Sometimes I really do like to go out to an expensive restaurant and eat. And other times, I like to just be chill and pack a lunch and call it, okay? And cook at home. But, yeah, you got it. That au natural woman, you got to be careful. Got to be careful. High maintenance women will look at you and like, oh, she's no competition. But sometimes we do compete with high maintenance women because the dusties Like, some men are like, I want a girl who's not going to drain my money, and I want a woman who's not going to, you know, who's easy. And unfortunately, it's almost damned if we do, damned if we don't. Because high maintenance women will like attract men who think that they're easy because they're just so focused on their appearance and so vain about themselves that they'll just take them. They'll, you know, it could be rough. That's why know thyself and create what's au naturel for you. Because not all women want to be hairy. Not all women want to go and put their feet in the dirt, which you should. But not all women want to be out in the sun. You know what or go camping. Create your au naturel woman, your low maintenance. Challenge yourself, my high maintenance woman. Give yourself a freaking break. Ain't nobody looking at your nails like that. Unless it's another woman who's wearing nails. Unless it's your competitor. Alright? Au natural women, we can give you a lot of, au natural women can give you a lot of tips on how to make your own beauty stuff. Your own beauty supplies. Really. So with that being said, I think this cycle of video making is done. I gotta move on to other projects today. Take a break because I've been working. I've been working like a man, y'all. Yeah. Alright, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. And stay tuned for more Rise of the Matriarch videos, because I was so inspired, and it was prior to the full moon too. So like that full moon was like, hey Nadja, bow, here's some ideas for you. And I was like, okay. So I'm running with it. So tune in for more. I have tons of messages that I will be giving. As far as how often, probably every other day, every 2 days. I'm going to probably do quite a lot, actually, to get the algorithm going, but it is what it is. So stay tuned. Thank you so much. Remember to embrace supreme level guidance, expand your consciousness, and evolve your human being. See you later.